come up to meet you, tell you I'm sorry. You don't know how lovely you are. I had to find you, tell you I need you, tell you I set you apart, and tell me your secrets and ask me your questions. No, let's go back to the start, running in circles, coming up tails, heads on a science apart. Nobody said it was easy, and it's such a shame for us to said it was easy.
I invite you to come on in and have a seat. We have a very special prelude that we would like for you to enjoy. The name of the song is Kalawaya, and it's presented by Dr. Ricardo and Kathy Sanchez.
Good morning. My name is Jackie Arthur, and I will be your worship associate today. We're delighted that you're with us, whether online or here in person. It's great to be with you. No matter how you look or who you love, we're glad you are here. Even if the furthest you've ever immigrated is from the living room to the kitchen, we appreciate you. Everyone matters here, no matter what your abilities. Everyone is loved here, no matter what you have done or failed to do. This morning, we'll be hearing from Dr. Ricardo Sanchez. Dr. Sanchez's powerful memoirs, Before and After the Border, available in the back. One Man's Journey Home weaves his personal narrative and cultural and political insight. We will be hearing about the systemic forces behind Latin American migration. I hope you will join in the conversation. As a reminder, you can come to our Joys and Concerns table over here to my right and light a candle or drop a pebble in the bowl as a token of what you are holding in your heart at any time in the service this morning. As David lights our chalice, consider these words from Dr. Ricardo Sanchez. We light this chalice for those who walk across borders, through storms, through nights so dark. For every heart that dares to dream, to love, to connect, to find that special place we call home. We light this chalice for courage, for those whose faith holds through struggle, for those who cross with steady feet, seeking, finding, becoming whole. May this flame remind us to care for those who journey and guide us toward a land that is fair, shared, and just. David and the band are going to lead us in our opening song, the UU National Anthem, Blue Boat Home. I invite you to stand in body or spirit and join us singing.
Good morning. I feel like it's been forever since I've seen you. What have you been doing this summer? Here we go. Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been feeling all my life now, never harbor or port have I known, the wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Here we go. our congregation pools its resources to help another ministry, another place that is seeking to help people. This month, we are giving our Share the Plate offering to the Worthy Now organization. This is an offshoot of the UUA, their prison-based ministry. So in just a moment after the video, we're going to take up an offering, and everything that you put in the baskets will go toward Worthy Now. So I encourage you to give generously. They're doing great work, and let's listen to this video together.
Greetings. I'm the Reverend Dr. Michael Tino, part of the lead ministry team at the Church of the Larger Fellowship, and I'm here today to thank you for your generous giving to our Worthy Now prison ministry. For over 80 years, the CLF has provided ministry to Unitarian Universalists who could not find a home in local congregations because of distance, barriers of ability, or other circumstances. When incarcerated Unitarian Universalists asked us if that also included them, we said, of course. It turns out, not surprisingly, that a UU theology that proclaims that every person is inherently worthy of love just as they are is a life-saving theology to people faced with daily dehumanization and torture in the U.S. prison industrial complex. Our inclusive theology affirms the humanity of queer and transgender people, often incarcerated in facilities that do not match their gender identity, often, too often, the targets of brutal violence. Our pluralist theology welcomes people whose theologies, humanist, atheist, pagan, Buddhist, and others, isolate and marginalize them in prison facilities dominated by conservative Christianity. As this life-affirming and life-saving message spread by word of mouth, our incarcerated membership began to grow. In 2002, we served 49 incarcerated UUs. In 2019, we passed 1,000. Today, the Church of the Larger Fellowship includes over 2,000 incarcerated UU members in 47 states across the United States. Each week we get a dozen or more applications or inquiries from people who have heard of the ministry we do. We fully expect our incarcerated membership will pass 3,000 in just a few years. Our Worthy Now ministry provides incarcerated UUs with vital touchstones and opportunities for spiritual growth and relationships. Once new members have completed a new UU course, they are eligible to be matched with a free world pen pal. Our pen pal ministry connects UUs all around the world with incarcerated UUs one-on-one. In addition, we provide pastoral care, classes, our CLF Quest monthly magazine, the 3 times yearly Worthy Now newsletter, birthday greetings, and holiday messages. New this year is a partnership with Beacon Press that will allow us to supply books to our incarcerated members for only the cost of postage. All of this ministry is done in a carceral system that tries its best to isolate and dehumanize people, to cut them off from their support networks. Because of this, our Worthy Now ministry is labor-intensive and costly, and as it grows, those costs are only going to increase. We at CLF provide this ministry on behalf of Unitarian Universalists everywhere, because we are uniquely positioned to do it, and we are glad to. We rely on our siblings in faith to volunteer to be pen pals and to send holiday greetings. We rely on your generosity as well to help fund this ministry. Thank you so much for your congregation's generosity. We are so glad to have you as our partners in this life-saving work.
All right, so our ushers will come now, and I encourage you to give generously to this worthy ministry. I set out on a narrow way many years ago, hoping I would find true love along the broken road. But I got lost a time or two. I wiped my brow, kept going, pushing through. I couldn't see how every sign pointed straight to you. Every long lost dream led me to where you are. Others who broke my heart, they were like northern stars, pointing me on my way into your loving arms. This much I know is true, that God blessed the broken road that led me straight to you. I think about the years I spent just passing through. I'd like to have that time I lost and give it back to you. But you just smile and take my hand. You've been there, you understand. It's all part of a grander plan that is coming true. Every long lost dream led me to where you are. Others who broke my heart, they were like northern stars, pointing me on my way into your loving arms. This much I know is true, that God blessed the broken road that led me straight to you. Every long lost dream led me to where you are. Others who broke my heart, they were like northern stars, pointing me on my way into your loving arms. This much I know is true, that God blessed the broken road that led me straight to you. God blessed the broken road that led me straight to you.
We invite all school-age children to join us for RE. If you would like to come, please exit the door on my left. While they're moving, did you hear the exciting news? We have a new RE director. Yay! Our own Annie Briggs. Yes, yes. Let's clap. Yay, Annie. Right. I can't wait to see all the great things that she'll bring to our fellowship and our kids. Dr. Ricardo Sanchez is a clinical mental health counselor, cross-cultural consultant, author, and adjunct professor at George Mason University. He is also a member of the Bull Run Unitarian Universalist Congregation in Manassas. Bull Run, right? Help me welcome Dr. Sanchez to our stage today.
Good morning. This is really great to be here. This is actually the second time we are in the area. A few years ago, we were going to the beach, and we had a flat tire by 95. And the closest place was here, in this area. So they fixed our car, and then we were ready to continue with our vacation. So good times here. Okay, well, I'm going to start by maybe my birthplace. I'm originally from Peru. Let me see how this works. Okay, this way. That's me about 10 years ago. I come from Peru, from a town called Arequipa. It's surrounded by 3 amazing volcanoes. The one in the middle, the one that you see, this way, is active, and from time to time it smokes, and it trembles. And if 6 months go by and it doesn't tremble, that means that something is wrong. We get a little bit worried. So it's kind of normal for us to just to feel that little shake. And I think somehow that shapes the mood of people, some way. So that's my birthplace. And I remember just my childhood just being playful, playing all the time, mostly with rocks and sticks and recycled materials. Until 1980, that's when the first color TV sets starting to popping up in my neighborhood. And that marked the beginning of a new era in my childhood, because suddenly we had new games, like for example, playing cowboys and Indians, right? So they would sell these sets of, the guns and the hats. It was quite interesting because we enjoyed that, although we had lots of Indians, but no cowboys. A little mismatch in the TV and reality part. But still, we enjoyed it. During my teenage years, we enjoyed breakdancing and doing the Michael Jackson moonwalk and all of that. We enjoy all of that. My best memories are in the, dancing like John Travolta and all of that. But again, I saw the influence coming from abroad. We enjoyed it, but it was a little something that kept me thinking, something interesting is happening here. That's when later on I found out that it was a tradition that was passed on from my parents. My parents also, they kind of enjoy that way. They enjoyed all those great movies, Casablanca, all these great singers, actors like James Dean and all of those. So in a way, part of the American tradition was passed on to us in Peru. And sometimes people will talk about the American dream in Peru, nothing about the Peruvian dream. That was kind of interesting. So that was kind of my childhood. But later on, I found out that Hollywood was only a part of this whole system of things happening. Entertainment was a way to learn more about the American culture, but it was part of a system that is probably it's kind of like this. Corporations would go and try to sell as many products there as they can through monopolies or oligopolies, not only in Peru, but throughout South America, while also purchasing at the cheapest way possible raw materials, oil, and minerals, and so forth. So it was kind of like a part of this economic model that many times did work very well for the US, but not for the developing nations. So over time, that created a lot of frictions in these countries. And I mention this part because this is also related on how mass migration takes place in some places, especially from Latin America. In Peru, for example, inflation was rampant, very much, especially in the 80s. The inflation went from 114 in 1985 to 7,000 per year. It's almost like by Monday, I would buy 10 pounds of oranges for $5. But then by Friday, that same amount of money will only buy me one orange. So as you may see, this was a pattern going on. Peru had the hardest part at that time, but Ecuador, Bolivia, Chile, Colombia, they were all having all these social and political issues because things were not working. By that time, this is pretty much the beginnings of 80s, Central America was already having a more difficult. They already went into civil wars because they could not hold it anymore. They were having and Peru was kind of heading in that direction as well. And I got so worried because I'm the second of 7 children in my family. I took it very seriously because I didn't want to grow seeing my siblings kind of going through all of this because there was no money for anything. Unemployment was almost 50%. And I couldn't find any job after high school. So it was quite hard. So a lot of people fled the country. During that decade, almost 1 million people fled Peru. And I didn't know I was kind of part of that wave of the youth that wanted to do something, help their families, or just not accept unemployment as the normal thing for us. So I did try to get a visa to come to the States, but it was so hard because at that time there were a lot of quotas for especially youth. A lot of people were leaving the country and they were not giving visas easily. So they denied my visa. But I still wanted to leave and help my family. So I started looking for other options until I found this agency that promised me to bring me safely to the States through the border. I trusted, and my parents didn't want me to leave the house, but I probably was the biggest pain in the butt. I did tell them, it's going to be good for us, I'm going to work and I'm going to send some money, don't worry. And finally they say, okay, we'll do it, but it's so expensive. Because this agency pretty much say, okay, he can go, but you're going to leave the house in collateral, because about $4,000 that they were asking me. And that was really hard. At age 18, I felt like I grew up like maybe 10, 15 years in one week. So it was something that I decided to do. So I went to Lima, found this place, and they actually give you a little training in this agency because they say that, in case they catch you on the border, you need to say that you are Mexican. Okay, so you need to learn the accent. All right, mano. Okay, I'm going to be Mexican. If they ask you, where are you from? I'm from Oaxaca. Órale. So I had to kind of talk like that. And then they would teach me some history of Mexico and the names of presidents and so forth. So I did that. But at the same time, I was at the mercy of this agency. I didn't know exactly. I couldn't trust them because I heard so many bad stories. Some of them, they try their best, others are just crooks. So our journey took me through Guatemala. We crossed Guatemala, and then we crossed all Mexico. It took me about a month to reach the border. And at that time, Central America was in the middle of the civil wars. Lots of people, over 300,000 people fled Central America at that time, those years. So Mexico was under a lot of pressure to stop migration. The U.S. put Mexico a lot of pressure to put pressure and stop this. So there were a lot of checkpoints. I was stopped 7 times through this journey through Mexico. And in the photo, we may see, this is the closest thing that I found. In each checkpoint, the Federal police, they would come into the bus and ask the questions, where are you from? I'm from Oaxaca. I had to kind of practice, do my practice. What part of Oaxaca? Downtown. yeah, we're in downtown. And that's when they will catch me. Then, so it happened a few times. And the thing is that they all knew that most of us, the ones that were not Mexicans, our intention was to reach the border. So what they would do is sometimes they would make us get out of the bus, and just before the bus left, they would just come to the back of the bus and say, okay, if you have $20, $50, each of you give me, and then we let you go. So we did that about 5 times. And we kind of knew that, so we had $20 here, another 10 here, in the socks, something like that, so we just give that. But there was this one time, I don't know what happened, because they found, of the 13 Peruvians that were in this trip, they sometimes would send us in groups of 4 or 5 in each bus. And on this bus, there were 5 Peruvians and about 6 Central Americans that they pulled out of the bus. Something happened that day that these police, they were so upset, and they pushed us out, kicking us outside in this small terminal. And I think they were just trying to show the people in that terminal that they were tough on crime or something, because they treated us really bad, really bad. And they made us come out like real criminals. They made us hold, the hands of the other person, and you're walking outside. And during this pushing and all of that, my other Peruvian friend, he was pushed and kicked in the stomach. And he was just trying to defend himself. Perhaps that was seen as putting resistance. And the police beat him and put his gun and just show him that, if you do something, I'm going to blow your brains. And I went out to defend him, and he did the same thing to me. It was really bad. I really felt dehumanized completely. And the people around, they were just watching how tough, police were. So that day, the police say, okay, to the bus driver, you can just go. We're going to deport these guys to Peru or Central America, wherever they are. And the bus left this time. And we really thought that, that was the end. That was at the end of our journey. So what happened is that they put us in the police cruise, 5 of us in the back seat. And then they drove a couple of blocks. The show ended, and they became like regular police. All right, guys, each of you need to give us $200, $300, and then we let you go. We don't have that money. We say, we only have this 20 or whatever. No, so if not, we're going to deport you. So they tried to put a lot of fear and more fear. We were almost kind of like desperate because the bus already left the town. And then after they collected some money, they say, all right, just give me whatever you have. They asked us to take our pants and backpacks and everything, so we gave them everything that we had. And then suddenly they say, okay, go inside the car again, and they put the lights and the sounds, and they drove like maniacs and went off to catch the bus. They drove for about half an hour, and they caught the bus, and they stopped the bus, and they let us go in. At least they did that, because so we kept going. But the fear, the sense of feeling like nothing, was there. But still, we needed to continue going, and until we reached the border. And at the border, there were other things that happened too. In my book, I explain more things, especially one traumatizing situation that happened to a mother and her son. After that, my arrival to Washington, D.C. was pretty much very traumatic. I remember feeling a lot of fear, excitement at the same time, because I was going to arrive to my, the place that I was dreaming. This is my dream country. I wanted to be here so bad, but I was feeling so much fear. And it was like my rite of passage to adulthood via fear, because that's all I remember at that time. So my life here in the States started just in the shadows, working in whatever I could find. My full time was being a dishwasher for several hotels in DC. And in my free time, I would do yard work. I would be a helper, painting homes and doing whatever I could because I needed to pay the money. Because just the thought of my family being without a home, that was terrifying for me. So I had to just keep going, even though I was so afraid that they will catch me, living my life in hyper alert all the time, thinking that anytime, I want to be arrested or prosecuted or deported. So living that way was really hard. And that's something that a lot of people go through, especially undocumented families. And that makes me feel about, what families are experiencing today as well with everything that is going on. Sometimes we witness things that we should be reporting, for example, but because we're afraid of giving our information, we don't do that. Domestic violence, for example, happens within the family, or maybe we witness neighbors fighting, but we cannot report that because we're afraid. Even we're afraid to go to the doctor and give our names. Sometimes simple questions such as, where are you from? I don't want to say that. What is your name? I will give a fake name and stuff like that because fear really paralyzes a lot of families. So it's almost as if I was a nowhere man living in a nowhere land, making his nowhere plans for nobody, doesn't have a point of view, knows not where he's going to. Isn't he a bit like you and me? That song, I heard it so many times in Peru, but it didn't mean much. It was just a nice song. But once I heard that song during the first weeks here in the States, I really thought the Beatles, Paul McCartney, and John Lennon did that song for me, thinking about me, because every word, every sentence was about my situation. So, and then I thought about you and me. Is this something happening just to immigrants? Are non-immigrants also experiencing fear? So many times I ask, what options do we have? We have this fear, but at the same time, we need to keep going. We need to keep moving, and that's what we did, and most immigrants do that. Even though it's hard, but we have no options, because in some of the places where we come from, the situation is still really hard. So resilience is there, but fear is also there. It's like, this duo thing going on. So that, in a way, it's part of what we do in this journey. So back to that question, the you and me. I have this question, are we in this together? And something happened about 20 years ago that helped me really clarify this combined fear that we have. It's not only about immigrants. I used to work at George Washington University in the nursing department as a software developer. And my commute from Fairfax to DC daily was hard, and sometimes I would come back in the metro. And I remember with this time, I was just standing up, and then suddenly I felt a really hard something in my ankle. I thought it was like someone just hit me with a metal rod or something. So I quickly did this. And then I saw a guy running out just at the moment when the sliding doors were closing. It really felt like that person calculated his movements waited until the people went out, and then people went in, and then when the sliding doors were closing, he kicked me really hard and left. As soon as I did that, and then I looked at the person who did that, it was a white male, looking at me from the other side with so much hate. And I was like, why? Why is this happening? It was as if he had all these notions about immigrants in his head already. Why? Why? I felt sorry at the same time. Brother, what are you doing? I haven't done anything to you. More questions came to me. And over time, this was also in my mind, what is this guy, so angry? What does he believe about immigrants today, and so forth? And this made me think about all the narratives that we are sometimes bombarded by, many directions, and the things that we believe, and sometimes we put actions to those narratives. And that's when I found out that there is a fear also implanted, fear that sometimes what psychologists call this symbolic fear, the fear that is based on narratives, particularly, and it's sustained by these narratives. And the real fear, the fear that we experience, in this case, when we hear that ice is coming, or when a car is going to hit you, that's the real fear. So these two fears. But it doesn't have to be that way. In this process, I met there are so many angels among us as well. People that are really envisioning a united country, a country where we can get along. And in this journey, I met several strangers. I'm going to just talk about a couple. One is John, white middle-aged man who found me in the streets one day, and he wanted to be my friend. He wanted to practice his Spanish. In his broken Spanish, he said, "Hey, what country for you? And what your goals?" And it was kind of funny because in a way I wanted to practice my English as well. But still, I didn't trust him. I always thought that this guy is probably trying to be my friend because he wants to get some information from me. He's probably an informant. I trusted no one, especially the first year. But little by little, I did notice that this guy was genuine. He really wanted to help immigrants. So after work, sometimes we would get together, and he would ask me, "Hey, Ricardo, what are your dreams?" I say, I came here, I want to work, I want to help my family, and if there is some time, I would like to go to college. Okay, all right. So he said, "How is your English?" Well, he knew my English was bad. All right, so why don't you write these essays, let's call it what I have learned this week. So I did that. Every week I would write, and next week he will come back with all the corrections. And that was really nice. And he will tell me, "Okay, you need to do it this way." For example, you don't say McDonald's, you say McDonald's. "Oh, okay. You don't say Colorado, you say Colorado." "Oh, okay." Little things like that. And we met in parks, we met in libraries, and that's how I got to know him. And he became my best friend, and he would help me with translations, for example. He said, "Okay, Ricardo, we're going to go and try and see if you can go to college." Okay? So he would do the appointments. And he was really good at convincing people. I was just kind of next to him, just listening, and it was really a treat to see how he would come back with this, ways of explaining things. But after 3 attempts, 3 colleges said, "No, we can't have you here. We don't have a way to have an undocumented person in the school. I'm sorry. 3 times I was rejected. But still, he said, there is another university, it's a private university, it's going to cost, but, let's try it. There was American University. All right, let's try it. So we went there, and the admission officer, again, he did his part, trying to advocate for me and doing the appointments. And again, they say, I'm sorry, no, we can't. I know that he wants to study, but we can't do this. But why don't you try going to the international office? Because they may accept him as an international student. It sounded like he was kind of just pushing us out of the office, But still, we say, okay, all right, we'll try that, because that office still requires student visas. They say, okay, we will do that. So we made the appointment for the next following 2 days. And we did that. And as always, John would tell me, put your tie on, you have to be presentable, especially these days in here, because people see and respect you the way you dress sometimes. He knew that sometimes stereotypes, especially with minority students, they act a little different. So I did that. So that's why you may see me with ties sometimes, or going to the doctor with my ties. So we did that. So the day of the appointment, I was in the hallway, and just getting ready. And John and I went to the office. And as soon as I entered the office, this office was a typical office, university office. It had a lot of ornaments, Native American ornaments. I saw dream catchers here hanging, an eagle, maybe this size, curved in wood. There were a ceremonial pipe over there on top of the cabinet. And then I saw the person who was there. He was a tall guy with long hair. The hair, the braids resting on his chest. Instead of a tie, he had a nice Native American necklace. It was definitely a Native American office there. The only thing that looked like an office, regular office, was the IBM. I welcome you, Brother Ricardo, to this total island, he said. And then he said, the eagle from the north welcomes the condor from the south. It was really amazing to hear that. I felt like almost crying when I heard that. I felt validated. I felt like my journey here was worth it. I felt visible for the first time. No one had welcomed me that way. And I felt like I needed to give him a present, but I didn't have anything with me. So I only had my backpack. And I do remember that always in my backpack, I had my flute, my quena, we call it in Peru. So this was my gift to him that day in the office. We talked for another 5-10 minutes in the office. He then said, Ricardo, education should have no borders. I just want you to be a diligent student, do your best. He took the paper, signed the application, and he said, "Welcome to America and welcome to American University." That was the office. Similar. So, I envision America the way that I envisioned it when I first left home, one that includes everyone, one that respects the dignity of all human beings. Do you dream of that world as well? So we invite you to cross the border with us and make that dream a reality. Thank you.
Wonderful. Dr. Sanchez and Kathy are going to be sticking around. Their book is back at the table with their two sons, and they're going to hang around in here for a little while, and then they're going to go to the library where they're going to meet with some of our social justice folks. If you'd like to be a part of that meeting, you're welcome to join them there as well. But again, thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Ricardo. Beautiful. All right. First off, we collected $428 for the Worthy Now Prison Ministry, so thank you. Our new office admin, Kelly Winkler, her husband passed away. He was in stage 4 cancer, but some things, it was just a perfect storm, and he ended up dying quite unexpectedly 2 weeks ago. They're going to have a celebration of his life at the Covenant Funeral Home on Jeff Davis. That's at 2 o'clock on Tuesday. Afterwards, they're going to come here for a reception. It's a potluck reception. If you'd like to come, they would love to have you. That's from 5 to 7. So I just wanted to let you know that. We are participating in Community Day at the Farmers Market down in what's that park called? There you go. And so this is an open door time where they allow others to come in, churches and stuff to come and share what's going on with them. And so we are manning a booth there. We're I shouldn't say manning, we are staffing a table. And yeah, so if you would be willing to help us out, Dawn, are you here? Dawn's right back there. You can talk to her or send her an email, and we'll get you connected with that. Also on the 29th, the Building and Grounds, the BAG, they call themselves. Building and Ground, I thought that was funny, but you didn't. They're having a bag-a-thon on that Saturday at 8 a.m., all right? If you'd be willing to come and help do some, I think they have 10 or 12 different tasks that they want to try and get done to get us ready for the fall. I know they would love to have you here. We are offering on Sunday, August the 30th, training for RE workers, potential RE workers, and potential LGBTQ plus people that will help us with our safe congregation and safe sanctuary time. If you are interested in that training, you can just come. You can send a note to the office if you want to let us know, but we're holding that training, and we hope that you will take advantage of that so you can help us in those very important areas. One last thing, we are still collecting feminine products for school-age kids. That's going on for the rest of this month. There's a little receptacle out in the foyer. If you have not made a donation yet, but you would like to, please get those in because that's coming to an end very quickly. All right. We've got other things coming up, but that's all September, so I'm moving on. Let's do a couple of minutes of joys and concerns. Jackie?
We now invite you to share your joys and concerns. Please speak up as we have greeters in the back who have mics, and hold the phone close to you so you're talking into the mic, not out here so people can hear you. If you'd like to share, please stand, and we will bring the microphone to you.
Hi, Marcia here with Pastoral Care. If you don't want to attend Tuesday for the service because you didn't know the family, that's okay. She's willing. She would like as many faces in honor of her husband. This is Kelly in our office, but she's also a good friend of mine from the mom group. And also, please keep Debbie Scott in your thoughts. She's gotten some pretty rough news lately, and so reach out, send a card. She loves cards. She loves flowers.
Thank you for your message, and especially ending so positively and joyfully. There is joy to ask for forgiveness and have ability to forgive. With wisdom and compassion, we forgive each other and move on. This voice is asking for forgiveness because he cares about this community and doesn't do enough for that. Thank you.
Would anyone else have something they'd like to share with us? There are some joys back there, I'm sure.
Hey everybody, my name is Max. I'm the speaker's son, and I would just like to share that. Well, thank you everybody for coming here today. I'm very happy that everybody here could listen to my dad's story and his message, and I'm sure that he's excited to talk to all of you as well. And I would just like to say that I'm very proud to be his son as well, and also to share that tomorrow is also his birthday. So. So yeah, thank you for coming.
Stand up, right? Oh, that was a great joy. I want to thank you for joining us this morning, Ricardo Sanchez, and of course, the wife, Kathy. Thank you, thank you. It is your faithful support of the UUFF that enables us to offer inspiring talks like we heard today. And also from other people in the Fredericksburg community. Please consider setting up a monthly pledge to help us reach more people with the message of hope and love. Please be generous with your gifts to the UUFF. We cannot do this without each one of you helping as they are able. Please stand with me now, in body or spirit, and let's say our closing words together. May we see the divine in every human being. May we treat each person with dignity and respect. May we be the ones who defend the defenseless, help the helpless, and love the unlovable. Go in peace.
Thanks for coming. Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
A quick announcement. If anybody lives in the north side of Stafford, we have a person here who needs a ride home in the North Stafford.
Yeah, this is my friend Galala, and she came today as a visitor, but she doesn't have a way home. Can somebody give her a ride home? Can you take her home? Yeah, we'll take her. Whoa.